In this video, we're going to check out 7 different ideas for outdoor showers from the MakerVibe community. And these are made for all sorts of different purposes, from camping all the way to a temporary solution during a home renovation. And these are all made with EMT conduit that you can find off the shelf at different places like Do It Best or Home Depot, all kinds of different hardware and home improvement stores. And the fittings that are used to assemble the frames are fittings that we manufacture in upstate South Carolina that allow you to build all kinds of projects like this. And we're going to highlight some different ideas and different techniques and things that were incorporated into each of them. This first one comes from Kevin, and this one is really cool. This is outside of a lake house, and this one was shared a while back. And I love this one. Has a lot of cool features incorporated into it. Has a door that swings open, and this is one of the builds that we saw the original kind of hack or use for the anchors that are made for, I think they're made for like trampolines and different things, but you can use them and actually slide 3/4 inch EMT conduit through them, which is pretty cool. And I'll link a video that we did down below talking about that solution. But essentially we can see here that he's got some decking boards to create the kind of floor of the shower, and then he's using 3/4 inch EMT conduit with various connectors like the 45-degree connector, the T connector, and others to basically make this rectangular framework. Here's a good shot of the whole thing in place, as we can see here. And then he's got some sunshade secured to the outside of the frame using, I think, zip ties in a lot of, or no, sorry, ball bungees in a lot of places, as we can see up there. And then he's also using some of the plastic clips that we have on the website, the conduit cover clips, to secure the shade in place on the framework. And really cool. We can see it's got a ton of really cool stuff incorporated into it. There's a shot of that anchor that goes into the ground, and then here it is from the outside. And it's just a really fantastic build with a lot of great ideas. So thanks so much, Kevin, for sharing this. Awesome job. Next up is a really unique idea from John, and this incorporates EMT conduit, of course, but it also has plumbing pipe incorporated into the framework, which is really cool because the connectors are joining the pieces of conduit together, as well as the plumbing pipe there that the water is actually running to, the ones that's being used for the shower and plumbing for the shower, which is a really cool idea and something we don't see too often. And this is probably one of the only times we've seen this kind of thing actually happen where someone is running water through their build. But essentially, all the connectors are made for different sizes, different trade sizes of EMT conduit, but you can use other tubes and pipes with the connectors. You just kind of have to pay attention to the diameters and make up the difference if there's a little bit of a gap between the tubing and the connector that you want to use. So that's something to keep in mind, but a really cool idea from John and just really clever. Next up is a really creative one from Michael, and this was meant to be a temporary solution during a home renovation. I think they actually had some bad weather come through. Maybe that's another build, but regardless, they had some renovations being done, and they just needed a temporary solution to be able to shower still while their bathroom was getting renovated. And this is essentially just a simple, framework that is bolted to the side of some pallets here, just repurposing some different materials. They've got some shower curtains zip tied to the frame, utilizing some of these binder clips to hold the plastic in place. Really simple project, but a really inexpensive solution to give you a place to shower while you've got some renovations going on. We can see here they've actually just got a hose secured to the frame, which probably feels pretty nice during the summer months, but if it's cold outside, you might want to use a heater or something like that, and we'll look at other solutions that incorporate that. But really simple idea. If you just need a couple weeks or a few days that you need a shower, this is a really good idea to just kind of repurpose some materials, use a few connectors, and then you can take advantage of the clamp style connecting system and just take everything apart and reuse everything for a different project. Really cool idea, Michael. Thanks so much for sharing this. Next up is this build from Murray, and this was actually made for camping, which is really cool. And we can see here that this attaches to the side of a trailer that they're using for camping. And it's pretty much just a simple two-dimensional rectangle with some angled supports thanks to adjustable angle flange and some adjustable angle hinge connectors that we have on the website. And essentially it's just a very simple build that is made to basically kind of rotate flat against the trailer, and then it kind of folds out into this shower. As we can see here, here's a good shot of the framework in place, and then they just add that shower curtain utilizing looks like just some normal shower curtain hooks, which is totally awesome because it's just round EMT conduit, so why not? And they've even got a heated solution set up here for the hose and for the shower, which is going to be really useful and nice. Like I said, if it's winter months or kind of cooler outside, definitely going to want that. So that's a really cool idea, Murray. Thanks so much for sharing this. Next up is an outdoor gravity shower that was shared by Ruby. And essentially this is just a rectangular cube-shaped frame that goes all the way up, and it's just made so they can put a plastic bin on top that has water in it, and then I'm sure there's going to be holes drained in that or kind of drilled through that to allow the water to run down. And it's pretty much just a really simple meant to be a fast and effective solution for an outdoor shower, and it's just gravity fed, utilizing the framework and the tub full of water. So that's really cool, really simple, and a really great idea from Rubie. Next up is another one that was made for some home renovations. I think this is the one they said they had some bad weather come through that kind of knocked out their plumbing. So they had to build a temporary solution to be able to shower while things were getting repaired. And this is another one that utilizes pallets here at the bottom. Actually, that's probably not pallets. I think it's just decking board. It's kind of elevated a little bit so the water can drain through there. They're using the solution with the off-the-shelf plumbing flange and the electrical connector to join and secure the verticals to those pieces of wood, and pretty much just made this big rectangle that has some siding attached to it, and it also has a curtain in there. And then they also added a heated solution for their outdoor shower as well, which is a good idea. I think you can get them on Amazon. They're not too expensive, and it's going to be worth it if you're going to have this be a long-term solution, or if you're camping or something. And we can see here it looks like they added the curtain on the inside because you could see through the walls. You don't want your neighbors seeing you out there. But yeah, it looks fantastic and is a really great idea. Utilizes just some MakerPipe T connectors, some 90-degree connectors, and just some basic fittings from MakerPipe to make the frame, and it's a really great solution for temporary home renovations. So thanks so much for sharing this. Last but not least is another simple one made to have a hose attached to it, and it's pretty much just a rectangle on the bottom with T connectors, a couple of verticals going up, and those are attached to another rectangle at the very top. There's an angled piece of conduit coming out of the top that the hose attaches to, and basically just turn on the hose, and then you can take a shower. And I think this was built next to a garden just to be able to rinse off after spending some time out there getting dirty in the garden. This is a good way to get clean, and just a really simple solution. Doesn't use that much conduit, doesn't use too many connectors, and then just attaches to the hose so you don't have to do any plumbing, and you get a really great solution for showering outside. So these are really cool. Hopefully you found some inspiration from these ideas. If you have any questions, feel free to leave those down below. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.